Good morning.
Ah.
Let's get 1% better every morning with this podcast. If you find it helpful, don't share it. Keep it to yourself. Okay, let's talk about that feeling.
Yeah.
You know the one. It's when you're pushing, trying to get better at something. Maybe it's work, maybe a sport, learning something new, and you just feel like you've hit a wall, a ceiling, like there's this invisible boundary, no matter how hard you try.
Right. It feels really solid, that limit.
Exactly. Like, okay, I guess this is just me. This is my capability.
Well, for ages, that's pretty much exactly what we thought, that, after a certain point in life, your brain was, set.
Fixed, yeah. Your IQ, talents, limits.
That was it.
That was the assumption. You just had to work within those boundaries.
But here's where it gets really fascinating and maybe a little mind-bending. What if that ceiling isn't real? Not in the way we think.
What if it's more like a neurological illusion?
Yes. Like a limit set by your brain's current wiring, not its ultimate potential.
Exactly. Like running on older software when an upgrade is actually possible. And what if, science has found we have this massive amount of unused potential just sitting there, dormant, and even crazier. What if there's a specific, really simple protocol, just a few minutes in the morning, that can actually rewire your brain, build new pathways to smash through those limits?
That's precisely what the latest neuroscience is pointing towards. It's quite revolutionary, really.
Okay, so that's what we're diving into today, why we feel limited, and how this morning routine might literally help you unlock that hidden potential.
Yeah, that feeling of hitting a limit is super common. And it definitely stems from that older idea of the brain being static after childhood.
Right, the fixed hardware idea.
Exactly. But modern research, brain imaging, it's shown us something completely different. The brain isn't static at all.
It's dynamic.
Incredibly dynamic. Think about it. Around 86 billion neurons, over 100 trillion potential connections. It's constantly adapting, changing.
Trillions. It's hard to even grasp that scale.
It really is. And here's the really jaw-dropping insight. The pathways you're actively using right now for your current skills, your thinking.
Yeah.
That might only be a small fraction of your brain's total potential connectivity.
Wait, hang on. Only a fraction? How small are we talking?
Well, the estimates do vary a bit, but a figure that keeps popping up in the research is around maybe 12%.
12%. So 88% is just dark, offline.
Sort of. That's what neuroscientists call latent neural capacity. It's all the potential wiring, the pathways that exist physically but aren't, activated or integrated into your daily operations.
Wow. Okay. So they're there but not switched on.
Precisely. And the breakthrough isn't just knowing the brain can change, that's neuroplasticity. The really big news is that we now have targeted protocols, ways to deliberately stimulate and activate those dormant pathways.
So it's not just strengthening old roads, it's literally building new ones.
Spot on. You're creating entirely new circuits, new capabilities, ways of thinking that might have felt completely impossible before.
Okay, so the ceiling isn't the actual roof, it's just the end of the currently paved road.
That's a great analogy. And targeted neuroplasticity is like having a plan and the crew to deliberately pave new roads exactly where you need them, intentionally guiding the brain's changes.
And you mentioned doing this in the morning. Why then? What's special about the morning?
Yes. The first 30 minutes or so after waking seems to be a unique neurochemical window. Your brain is shifting gears after sleep. Key neurotransmitters for focus and learning, like acetylcholine and norepinephrine, are sort of coming online. It creates this brief period where the brain is exceptionally, receptive, malleable.
Prime for construction, basically.
Exactly. Like the crew and materials are all ready to go. And we've seen this work, right? It's not just theory.
Oh, absolutely. Studies with high performers, executives, athletes, people in demanding fields who'd hit plateaus.
They've shown significant measurable breakthroughs using these kinds of targeted protocols. Things like better cognitive flexibility, faster problem solving, learning complex skills quicker, often pushing way past what they thought their limit was.
And it's a physical change, not just mindset.
It's fundamentally about changing the physical architecture of the brain.
Okay, let's unpack this then. This sounds incredibly powerful. So how do you, listening right now, actually start doing this? What's the protocol?
Right. It's designed to be simple, around 5 minutes right after you wake up. Needs focus, though.
Okay, step one.
Step 1, limitation inventory, about 60 seconds. The goal here is to give your brain a really specific target. Identify one skill or area where you feel that ceiling.
It's just one. And be specific, right? Not like be smarter.
Exactly. Vague goals don't work here. Write it down. Make it measurable. So not better public speaking, but maybe deliver compelling 20-minute presentations without notes holding audience attention.
Got it. Specific and measurable. Then what?
Then rate your current ability, 1 to 10, honestly. And then rate what you believe your maximum potential is, 1 to 10. That second number is your brain's current perceived limit, the gap. That's your target.
Okay, identified the gap. Step 2.
Step 2, neural reimagining. This is the core. About 120 seconds. Close your eyes. You're going to do multimodal visualization.
Limited just seeing it.
Way more. Engage all senses for 2 minutes. Vividly imagine performing that skill. But, and this is critical, imagine performing it at least 30% beyond your current perceived maximum.
Whoa, okay. 30% beyond what I thought was possible. That feels stretchy. Maybe impossible.
Perfect. That feeling is key. It creates what we call productive dissonance. You're pushing the simulation past the brain's known limits. Hear the sounds, feel the confidence, the ease, the flow. Crucially, feel the emotions, the satisfaction, the success.
So this dissonance, it tells the brain that current wiring isn't enough.
Precisely. It gets this super vivid, emotionally charged signal of a future state that conflicts with its current reality. It says, whoa, I need to build pathways to make that possible. It triggers the neuroplastic changes.
Okay, forcing the upgrade. What's step 3?
Step 3, micro skill activation. Another 120 seconds. This bridges the gap to reality. Identify one tiny component subskill of the bigger capability.
Tiny, like for the presentation example.
Maybe just practicing maintaining steady eye contact while explaining one complex point, or using pauses effectively for 2 minutes, just one small, manageable piece.
And then you just practice that tiny thing.
For 2 minutes, yes, with full focus. Feel it, correct it. This starts activating the new pathways you stimulated in step 2 in a real physical way. It builds a neural bridge from the mental map to actual action.
So inventory 60 seconds, reimagine beyond limits 120 seconds, micro practice 120 seconds, 5 minutes, first thing in the morning.
That's the core. That morning window is prime time. And some people find quick 30-second reinforcement visualizations midday and evening help too.
And consistency is crucial, I imagine.
Absolutely. Daily practice for at least 21 days on the same capability. That's what really strengthens those new pathways until they become the new baseline, the new normal. The old ceiling just dissolves.
Makes sense. You're physically training your brain. A journal could help track this.
Highly recommended. Note the feelings, the objective results. It feeds back into the process, accelerates it even.
This really shifts things. It's less about trying harder and more about actively expanding your brain's capacity. Applied neuroscience.
It really is. In today's world, being able to build new capabilities quickly, that's a huge advantage. This is about upgrading the hardware, not just running the old software faster.
Okay, so let's recap quickly. That limit you feel, probably not your real limit, just your brain's current wiring. You've got massive untapped potential, this latent capacity, and this 3-step morning protocol inventory, neural reimagining beyond your perceived limit, and micro-skill activation leverages neuroscience to start building new pathways.
Physically rewiring what's possible for you.
Done consistently. First thing, it can make those dormant pathways your new reality. So the question for you listening is, what does this mean for you? What specific ceiling have you been hitting?
Yeah, what capability did you assume was just off the table for you?
Imagine if that limit could actually dissolve with this simple practice. What could you unlock? And, this builds the foundation. But are there ways to make skill learning even faster? That's something we might just dive into next time.